Hi, welcome back to my channel. As promised, we're going to do a walkthrough. I'm going to show you about my press, and I'm going to show you my cleaning station, and then the one that I'm most proud of, I'm going to show you my cold press. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we'll start right here. What I've got first is, I've got sort of the staging area. So I try and get multiples ready before I turn it up. What I've got in here is I've got different paper sizes. I've got some magazine boards. I've got more different size boards and paper. I keep different sizes, like I said, different thicknesses as well. Alright, so let's get to the fun part here. So what I've done here is I've tried to run off of the idea of sort of like a memory, paper memory. I've read a lot of things where some of the spines, some of the dents in the front, they just don't hold. So you put them in a press for 24, 48 hours. That may not do it. It may come back a couple of weeks later. So by hanging it, what you're doing is you're allowing the fibers in the book itself to sort of relax over time. And I've cut out notches that fit where the staples are. Now, I end up with quite a few different sizes of these because depending on publisher, depending on the age of the book, the staples are in completely different places. I mean, even just looking at these two side by side, you can see it's half an inch off from one side to the other. And I like to make sure that the notches fit perfectly with the staples, because the idea being you want to take the stress off of where the staples is to sit directly on it. So gravity itself can just do its job. So that's what I'm doing here. I've pulled some 9/8 out of stuff that looked just disastrous before I started. So why am I using it? So initially when I got this, I was able to kick out a book, but some of them, I mean 12 hours, I'm still slowly increasing what I feel comfortable with for the heat. So a lot of these books are staying in here for 24, 48 hours. Well, that's just the minimum. So a lot of the time you get busy with life, you want to have some way of being able to get through these without, 2, maybe 3 books a week. And I had a stack close to 300 books that I wanted to send off to CGC. I needed a different solution. So this is what I found in one of the groups that I'm following on Discord. What the suggestion is to use a cold press. Now, you can get a lot of different slabs, but what the suggestion is to use an actual like granite or... Well, the reason for that is twofold. A, transfers the heat better, and B, the cheap ones that you're going to buy at like Home Depot, if it's not made of real stone, you end up with the planks will warp. You don't want that with your book. The idea is to make your books as flat as you possibly can. So what I've done is I've added one more thing to it. I've added an actual book press that I made. Granted, still, this is working out the kinks in this, and possibly I'll make another. I bought more of the screws to go on it, so I'll give it a shot. I can always make it better. So now, when you're looking at here, you're going to see that there are numbers and there's arrows. The reasons that I did that was so that as I'm putting my books from the hot press into the cold press, I'm staggering the spine so that the stack stays more even as it's coming up. So we're going to jump into it here in just a second when this finishes going through the heat press, and I'll just show you two of them in succession. Of course, I'll have to clip a little bit in between just to get it all in, but hey, hope you guys enjoy. Alright, let's get to it. As you can see, I put a little extra spacers in there to try and lift it up, because at this point they're far enough down the screws can't touch it unless I put an extra piece of granite in there. Otherwise, I do use these, and what you have is when I flip them over, see, this would be on the next one on. And so what I do is I put an extra piece of support, and then I'll put another piece of granite on top of that, and then the piece of metal on top of that. That way it gives it a nice support as I screw down on top of it. So if you look at the underside, when the next one goes on top of that, I've got pads. And these are all laid out on all of them, so they actually will fit perfectly in order to give the same amount of support across the plate. So as the pressure is applied down on it, it makes sure that the plate itself won't break because the pressure is evenly dispersed across it. So it was just a real simple and easy way to keep from having broken granite. So, alright, let's get ready for the next one. Alright, let's talk a few seconds, lessons learned. So, first, make sure you've got supports on these things. Try not to, if you go with the clamp method, try to have something in between them so that when you're clamping down, you're not applying the pressure directly into your slab. You'll probably break it if you do. I tried using the short boxes dropped on top for a while. Did not get the results I was looking for. Granted, it's a lot cheaper than spending the money on another one of these. For about 2/3 of the cost, I have this full setup over here, and I can do an additional 5 books. Now, when I tried to do it without having a press, it was taking 2 to 3 times longer in the cold press than it would here in the regular press. So, I did that. I used multiples of the exact same book, all with the same problem, and I tested and ran back and forth trying to make sure that I was getting the best results that I could. And I learned a few things, so I'm hoping that this I can pass along to you and you can get something out of it. So this is just a few more seconds. We'll pop the top, drop another one in, and I'll let you go again. The heat from it is going to start to curl the book. So really you do want to move these quickly. You want to get them in place. Close that out of the way. And get your press on as quick as possible. See, no movement. Everything's right where it should be. So the initial weight is enough to just kind of hold it in place. I like adding a little extra. At some point I'll just go and get another slab and then add the extra wood so I've got something firm to put on without any added extras. So from there, we're just going to wind this thing down. And from here, I like using 2 of them. You can really feel and you know when you've got that pressure across each side, and you can feel it. So, alright, that one's there. I'm going to drop the last book in. Now this one, you're not going to see me do all the rest, but I figure everybody likes this book, so why not show off putting it in the press. This one, believe it or not, water damaged. Moisture damage, I should say. This one has been through the press multiple times. I am almost done, almost have it where I want it to be. Now, I do like to fill it out when adjusting these. You don't want to pop staples. Alright, there we go, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope that I've shared something. Stay safe out there, stay healthy, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.